What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Dispatching Live, Thursday noon Central Time. Sue, oh, I don't even have my, have my background effects ready to go because I've been out of the office. Why don't you
You've
do
been
me a
on
favor?
vacay.
Oh my God, right? Oh yeah, I'm so glad I make it look easy. Well, I really do want that. So do me a favor. Before I do anything else, I can't even do my woke waiver or nothing. Why don't you take the screen, say hello to the live chat. I'm gonna grab my and welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and saying hello. We'll go into the live chat, and we know that even if you don't say hello, whatever you're doing, thanks for taking the time to join us. Sue, go ahead and share your screen, and you're gonna fill. See, I don't even have it. Look, I don't
I'm
even
gonna
have it
fill
set
in,
up
huh?
right. I don't have it right.
Oh shoot.
Oh my gosh.
So
Mic check
let
1,
me.
2, 2. Yeah, take it away.
Well,
Okay, cool.
let's do. We haven't done this
I'm
for a while
walking
about
away. Keep
what the
going.
load is.
Yeah.
Okay, what the load count is, and we're at 30,582. The last time we were on the show, which was August 31st, we were at 36,576. So we're down about 6,000 at least. I would say that off and on today. That might be off, off a little bit. I will say, as everybody probably knows, this all sucks. Um, everything's been pretty horrible. Load rates are down as usual. We've still never even come out of the slump from last year, or the first of the year, sorry, in January. So we've been just slumping along the whole year long, and I don't foresee it changing. I think it's going to get worse. And as we all know, I believe we've got a GM thing coming up where at midnight tonight where they're going to strike or not, I believe. So that's really going to affect us next. It's going to affect probably
Oh,
OEMs more than us.
so the
But
strike. Okay,
still,
that's that. I had heard the strike was,
yep.
speculation. It's happening.
Yep, that's what they're saying
Oh wow.
tonight at midnight, I believe is what Jen said.
I mean,
She wrote it on
this story's been in the news
yes.
a lot. I mean, a lot, and you can't tell. That's what's interesting about stories in the news. You can't tell. Is there progress? Is it not progress? It looked to me like it was something was going to happen.
I think it's going to happen. That's what everybody is really predicting it to happen. So
Wow.
we'll see what actually takes place and how long it takes place. Because didn't we have this happen a couple years ago?
Well,
Something like that.
Yeah, strikes kind of.
I think we talked about it. Yeah,
I
it
think
happens
strikes
at
have
least
the
once a year,
same
doesn't it?
schedule as like the Olympics. Every 4 years. It's not funny. I know it's not funny, but people,
No,
it's
it's
hard
not.
to keep. It's hard to keep track of what's happening with
Well, true.
strikes, and there's many.
True.
I mean, you've got there's a strike, writers and actors in Hollywood, and then the baseball players go on strike sometimes, and we can't follow it all. I think of it like, let's get off that. I think of it like congressional committee meetings. I mean, there's always another investigation and task force, and I just can't keep track. And that has nothing to do with auto transport either. Right? I think I got my sound effects here, and I definitely got some kind of squeaky cable that I got to change out. So that's nice. Somebody's like, wait, why did you share this show? All right, let me start with this. Got a new thumbnail. All right, I'm looking into, let's see if we... Oh, good, it works. I'm looking into updating some, website design on this channel. Because I haven't done that. I mean, how long have we been looking at the same dartboard and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you know what's missing from this photo?
Me.
You're missing from the photo. So I'm gonna, this is actually the first design proposal that I got, and I shared it because we're living in a live laboratory. Man, somebody called Gary Newman. That sounds like a great follow-up album to Cars. Living in a live laboratory. We are doing that here on Dispatching Live. That's why it's called Dispatching Live, because we do so much dispatching. So, I'm just going to keep moving on. But I mean, it's better. It's probably better than this
Well,
because,
true.
right? This doesn't tell you anything. In fact, somebody's like, man, they never play darts. So,
True.
right?
Very true.
All right.
Well then.
So, I mean, so we're gonna give it a shot. Got to get this. But I mean, I do like this. This looks good. If you like it, I'd love to hear. Please put your thoughts in the live chat. Which again, like I said, we'll go to. Leave your likes and your thoughts in the live chat. Thank you so much. We will go into that. Oh yeah. Okay, so then I'm like, okay. I'm making a lot of changes. Do I keep reading the disclaimer?
Yes, I think you have to.
I think you're
I
right.
know
That's
it's
what
no
I
fun,
was thinking. All right, let's
but
do it. Here. I know. It's not really fun. I don't really like it. And for the record,
but
I
it's
would
COA.
yeah, well that's the problem. It is COA. Got to do that. But I really do think that ATI is proving to be the true neutral zone, and I see some folks, coming back to take another look that are in the corporate world. I know that this channel can be misconstrued at times because reporting the news is not everybody will do that, and we're doing that. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's read. Here we go. Please be aware that in compliance with DEI, the views and analysis provided on Dispatching Live relate to the auto transport industry as a whole and may not relate directly to ATI Auto Business Auto Transport Intel. Any affiliates, advertisers, or audience members, all viewers and participants of this content expressly waive any rights during this live program, whether in voice, chat, comment, video, or audio, and have been advised and encouraged not to say or express any opinion that may relate directly to ATI Auto Business Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, audience members, or any other company or individual, and you should not feel you have the right to do so. All right? All right. Like that's the micro. I read it like the Micro Machines guy from the '80s. The guy that who's the fastest talker in the world, I think. I didn't come anywhere close to what that guy can do. I do like to remind people that this is the Dispatching Live effect. You might feel a bit woozy. You may have watched other programs. You may be used to scripted programming. You're like, what are we doing here? I mean, even carriers like, this guy doesn't even drive a truck. I mean, nobody knows what is this channel. This channel is called The Truth for Everybody. I know it's tough. It's hard. And we've been here since 2017. We weren't the first, but we might be the ones that are still here the longest. I'm not sure. Really don't know. Auto Transport Media since 2017. Full ecosystem. New cars, used cars, dealers, services, brokers, carriers, shippers, dispatchers, equipment. Neutral zone. Okay. Thank you, Sue. Take it away, Sue. You said this. We need to talk about ratings. There's a new issue. What is it? Thank you.
Okay, so let me take the screen.
Yeah. Awesome.
What is going on?
Cool. Love it. Stick around live chat. Thank you so much.
Let me make sure I have the. Okay.
I really mean that. I appreciate it. We're glad to have you here today.
Let's get into ratings here. So what we found out or discovered. Okay, people pay me broker fees. All right. They don't pay me on time. Used to be back before. I just didn't give them a rating. And that was kind of my heads up of I knew why I didn't give them a rating is because they slow paid me or whatever. If they didn't pay me, they got a negative. But if they slow pay me, they don't get a rating at all. Well, now that these are transactional ratings, right? We're supposed to rate them every single time. Well, they didn't let us all know that if you did a certain thing, you never got to rate that company ever again. So let me show you. So I've got all these pending. Now, do you see this little button that says dismiss?
Yeah.
If I dismiss that, I can never rate them ever. Like, ever.
What? Why?
Yeah, why? Why would you do something like that? Is that not the craziest crap ever?
And it's easy to click, and then you don't know what you've gotten yourself into.
Right. Well, we didn't know it because we were doing that. We were like, people who were paying us 30 days, we're dismissing it. I'm not giving them a negative. I'm not giving them a positive. But to me, it was like, because here, This is so
Yeah,
different now
it
from
should
what we
just
used to
say
do.
dismiss
Yes,
forever.
just say you're screwed. Don't push this button. It should have a big red
Crazy.
thing. Do not push this button.
That is
But
really interesting.
yeah, and so it used to be like we keep kind of. I will say that this lineup is easier to keep track of as far as who owes me and all that good stuff. But like I said, we pressed dismiss on several of them that paid us late,
Yeah,
just so that
no,
I
I
would
could
know
see
they weren't
clicking
getting a
it.
rating. I wasn't
Yeah,
doing one or the other, right?
exactly. I just
And
want to
then
get
all of
rid
a
of
sudden,
it for
Jim went to
now.
try to go, yeah, try to go give a rating on someone that had done another load for us, but they paid us on time. Well, she's like, I can't access them. What the hell's going on? And so she sent them an email, and guess what happens? Well, we get the little thing that says you are no longer allowed to rate this company because you dismissed it. But it should be something that they should let people know other than going in to learn about transactional ratings. I don't even know if it's in there, to be honest with you, but still, like, look, there's even a big thing that says dismiss all. How many people probably push that and they're just thinking they're getting it off their screen so they don't have to deal with it? Nobody would know. So yeah, that's a big foobar as far as I'm concerned. That should not have been up there, or they should explain it better, or
Right. Oh,
something to that effect.
okay. So what happens if you hit dismiss all? Is that dismiss all
That'd be all of them.
forever?
Yes. Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Forever and ever and ever. Yeah. And most people aren't going to know that.
Oh my
So
gosh. This is
yeah,
weird. I mean,
it is weird. I don't even know why you would offer that as an option, to be honest with you.
so I think I'm confounded. I believe you have found a hole in the time space fabric continuum. Yeah, we were lost. That's weird.
It is weird. Why would you do that?
And I'm actually trying to be fair and balanced here, and I feel very off kilter. I think I'm experiencing the dispatching live effect. I don't know what to say.
Nice one into there.
Yeah, thanks very much. Because that makes no sense. Of course, I just want to dismiss this moment.
Yeah.
Not all moments forever containing this.
Yeah, why would you make it forever?
I don't know.
So now I can never, like if we did that on several companies, which we did without knowing that,
Yeah.
never can do that again.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe it's, gosh.
Yeah, so when I go in and they want to haul for me,
right,
again,
BGA
like,
was just
sorry,
about to press the button. Let's say hello to the live chat and then go to BGA. Ty is in here. He loves Sue. He loves Renee. Thanks, Ty. National Car Shipping Inc. Justin says hello. Renee is here. Renee is in the waiting room. We'll tell you more about that. Let's see here. Ty says if there are no new cars, it will impact used cars. Justin says, wow, thanks for letting us know that. Would have bothered the heck out of me if I did that and then needed to do a rating. Yeah. BGA said he was about to press the button. Yeah. I mean, we're not, okay, good. So we're not alone here. Or, you know, you're not alone.
Well.
Or, but I mean, so everyone's doing, I would do the same. Because here's what would happen. I'm on the phone, I'm busy. I would see this, and I'm like, I don't want to do this right now, or I don't care. Dismiss.
Right.
And then later on find out, so you literally can't give them a rating ever again?
No.
Because you dismissed it? That's bananas.
Yeah. That is bananas.
So you're so you're encouraged. Well, you know what? If you don't want to deal with it right now, I guess just give them a 1-star, right? Or a 3-star. I don't know.
Good point. Right.
Right.
But I mean, you know as well as I do, there's a lot of people who are just like, shit, I don't have time for that. We're just pressing dismiss all.
Oh, please. Yeah, it's all day.
Later on. Yeah, you're screwed. Yeah.
Gary's in the house. What's up, Gary? Yeah, no, I mean, that is really, so solution time. I mean, what do we do? Well, I mean, what can be done? You sent an email?
Yeah, we sent an email to CD. That's the one that responded and said, well, you're basically screwed. You can't dismiss them. And then think you can go back. But then there's no point, honestly, in asking a question back and forth because you and I both know that they don't care. So it's like pointless.
Now, come on, Sue. It's a new day.
Come on.
All right, so why does it matter? let's play. Why does it matter?
What does it matter?
What does it matter?
It does matter because
Oh.
one minute they may do a crappy job, and the next minute you might want to give them another chance, and then you can't even give them a positive. Or say you just by accident press dismiss, you didn't even pay attention. You could never give them a positive, and then they want us to start using all these transactional ratings, and you can't ever do it again for these people. It's kind of the same concept with like you can't give Metro a positive. You can't give any big broker anything because they don't use Central. And they said they were going to fix that. I have yet to see it fixed yet. And I mean, because same thing with who all doesn't use Central to send you the load, and that's the rule. Auction Direct, Metrogistics, Montway. I mean, the list goes on and on. They can never give out ratings to us. We cannot give them out ratings, which you know as well as I do. There's some in there that really need some ratings, not good ones. But anyways, but you can't do it because they didn't use Central Dispatch to send you that load. And that's the other problem we all have with it. Also found another thing out today from Lena.
Ooh, what?
She like, you know how you can get a load and figured out you can't do it and you didn't even accept the load. Well, she found out that you can give people still negatives, positives, and they said, okay, only if you accept the load. Now it's, you know,
I think Gary got it.
They don't want ratings at all.
I mean, and I'm not even reading what he wrote. You can read it for yourself. My point is, it seems like, and let's go to camera one. It seems like we're getting the gist that this is something that somebody just doesn't really want to manage anymore. And so
absolutely.
It's right. Do we all agree on that? It seems like this is something that's and you know, here's what I want to say, Sue, and this is a good time to say it. Let's talk to the executive, the VP in the corner office. Why does any of this matter? Dear Mr. VP.
Yeah.
Fill in the blanks.
Them it doesn't.
Dear Mr. VP, why Sue, tell the VP why this matters, please. I mean, does it matter? Are we all just yapping away? Are we?
Yeah, no, it absolutely matters. And if they want to have a conference with me, I'll go over it with them front to back. And
well, we're having a conference now. I think this is going to be your one shot. Dear Mr. VP, fill in the blanks.
So we need to be able, first off, dismiss should be gone. I mean, just take it off because it's going to screw so many people over. It's not even funny. But, you know, ratings are important to us as brokers and transporters. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know if everybody's noticed, but they're getting really crazy on these ratings. I mean, the stuff people are saying about everybody. I have seen so much incredible crap on here that it's unreal. Now, yes and no, it helps. I have to look at not just the rating. I have to look at who gave them the rating. And if I know the broker, or if I know the carrier that may have done it, that kind of sways my decision as to whether I'm going to let them haul or not. But definitely if we dismiss one and we can't ever go back and put something on there for them, then they're never getting a rating again from us, whether they did a good job or a bad job. And since this is all about having as many ratings as you can possibly get on the new transactional system, then we need to be able to do that. And I just don't think this is the right way to go about it. The end.
Good stuff. That was a good letter.
Did I rant enough?
Yeah, no, you got it. It's good stuff. All right, let's keep moving. That was awesome. Thank you, Sue. Show me the truck. I don't think I have any trucks to show. So send in your trucks. Autotransportintel@gmail.com.
I got a good one today.
Oh, you got one? All right, cool.
I got a good one. Yeah.
All right.
Danny just picked up a thing of vans.
Oh, yeah?
Let
Take
me
a look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, let me
It's always good to, you know, here's a good one to talk about. You know, show me the truck is that when you see, do you do this? I mean, I'm sure you do. Listen, we all notice people in an industry that we're in, and so I look at every truck. If I'm driving, I look at every truck, every transport truck, from wedge to flatbed to 9-car that I pass on the road. I look at the daisy chain centipede guys. You know, if it has to do with car shipping, auto transport, or logistics, I'll look at 53-foot dry vans now and think about what company that is. Not every time, but like I didn't notice how many trucks Swift Transportation has. I didn't notice before.
They have a
Right.
lot.
That's a lot.
Okay.
But
Just
anyways,
send it to you.
So show me the truck is good because it's another time, another opportunity to take a look at what's happening in the industry. Here we go. So this is
Okay.
ooh, what do you got here? What
Did
are we
you get
looking? Yeah, I got it. It's on the screen. Can you see it?
It was Danny.
That was Danny. Good one, Danny.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
from
that's a good
INSURED,
load.
actually.
Nice.
From San Antonio to Dallas. Yeah. The other
Ah.
one before it that we took, which were 3 vans down to San Antonio, were even better.
Mm.
I don't know if I have a picture of that one.
Yeah, too
Nope, I
bad.
don't think you
That's
sent me
the kind of load you want to take from like Miami to I won't say Seattle, but you know, maybe Bismarck.
But we took 3
That's a good one.
vans that went from Dallas down to Austin that were paying $6 a mile with
Mm.
all 3 of them.
Well,
They were 3,500 vans. It was $1,200. It was pretty sweet.
that is nice.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get the memo? We're gonna keep moving here. We got Renee coming up here in a bit. Been showing the thumbnail. We're gonna talk to Renee about fake certificates of insurance. Apparently it's a thing. So we're
Yeah,
gonna talk
I
about
believe
it.
that.
And
That
we're
hadn't
gonna
happened to me before.
Well, here we go. We're going to look at some slides that may or may not, you know, make you drop your coffee. Some unscrupulous brokers out there have a new scam that hijacks DOT numbers. Could cost you thousands of dollars. What? Wait. Some brokers have a scam
Huh?
that hijacks DOT numbers. Do you know about this?
How would that? No, and I don't
What?
get it.
Wow.
Explain that one to
I wonder.
me.
I'm sure we're going to learn more about that. I'm assuming Renee knows a lot about insurance. She works at Harding Brooks Insurance Agency, and we had her. She's been on several shows. She was on Vehicle Recovery Roundtable, which you're going to find also in the news here today. The Repo Bunch. This is a story out of curepossessions.com. Visit curepossessions.com. I'll put a link in the live chat. The good, the bad, and the ugly of a packed repo lot. Now, what I like about this headline is that, you know, someone in auto transport is going to say, who cares? Right? This is why I talked about the VP in the corner office and why does it matter? Because it's interesting what we don't realize affects our part. Well, if the repo lot is full, actually, you'd think the rates would go up. You'd think that it'd be easier to pull a car out because the repo lot is full. The problem is they still have to have in place mechanisms that protect them as a business, and that's actually one of the reasons why the repo lot is so full, is because it's getting bottlenecked with red tape. We read this last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, Joint Repo Association memo, transporter access, to whom it may concern. I share this page because you can see that it's official, but the information is here. Orange line, third box. It is not unreasonable to ask for transport companies to sign a site entry agreement and provide the repo company with a certificate of insurance, with them possibly listed as additionally insured. Okay, so site.
Yeah, that might be.
Okay, that's what I want to ask you. So site entry agreements, that's normal? I don't remember that.
I don't remember anybody asking anybody to do that, but I could understand because they don't want anybody to probably get hurt on their property. You think that's what it's for?
Okay, but let's pause there.
That's
exactly. How often do you get asked for one of these? I don't remember being asked.
I don't know if I've ever been.
I know.
I mean, I don't know. None of the guys have ever said that.
Right.
That they signed something to go on, you know.
And I said that to the vehicle. Okay. I said it to the Vehicle Recovery Roundtable, and they were surprised that I said that. There is there's a lack of communication. I don't know what it is. I don't remember filling out a certificate as a dispatcher, not as a driver, but as a dispatcher between the years of, 2012 and 2016. I don't remember having to get a site entry agreement for my driver going to a repo lot to pick up. I don't remember that. I also don't remember having to get them a certificate of insurance. I remember appointment windows. I remember arguments about keys. But I don't
But
remember entry agreement and certificate of insurance.
no, in fact, I had a repo unit I think last week for Cars Arrive, and you had to send in, the email, but nobody ever asked me for any of that. So I don't know if it's something they ask the drivers when they show up, but I think it's odd too, especially if
So,
it's additionally
yeah,
insured.
we're going to be talking about that today. And that's one of the reasons why Renee is going to make a great guest coming up here in about 10 minutes. All right. So, the American Recovery Association. By the way, if recovery bores you and certificates of insurance bore you, yeah, you go to the next video. Or if you don't have time, you watch it later. I totally get it. It is meaty, important stuff. As soon as, you have an insurance claim, question, problem, this is really important. So, no problem there. American Recovery Association update on ARA's meeting with CAC. I don't know who CAC is, but I think we're going to find out today. Anyways, in this thing and this letter, they had a meeting, and all right, here in the box 1. After meeting with CAC, your ARA representative devised a solution to the problem agents have with process of gaining access to the lots. And the CAC is like car haul or car carrier or something. We proposed having the auctions sign a side agreement contract that includes a hold harmless clause for the agent if their subcontractors cause damage to the property, that would be transporters. In addition, we propose adding the agent as additionally insured. So now they're proposing getting the auction. So you've got agent, auction, transport, insurance. Do you see where this is going? I mean, this is going to be more than just scheduling an appointment.
And this is going to be more of people not wanting to do these either.
Right, and that's why
you just keep adding things
the
to it.
the rate's just going to keep going up. The lot's going to keep getting filled up, and I'm not trying to start a problem. I'm commenting on, right? Isn't this an observation of what's probably going to happen?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I already stay away from them.
Well, that's what I said. Exactly.
Nothing. I'm not doing
if I in my dispatching training series, I listed locations you could possibly pick up at.
Right.
Residence, dealership, auction, business,
Copart, yeah.
Right, salvage. Repo is one of the last.
Yes.
In fact, when asked,
that'd be on the bottom of
exactly.
My list. All
right, where would you rather not go? A repossession lot or the port?
Ooh.
I know.
That's a tough one.
I know.
But I think it would be repo only because
right.
Port,
At least the port.
you can get it off or on or whatever. But
they're
repo,
still open 7 to 3.
Gotta work. Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
or they're only open there's several repo yards that are only open 2 days a week and for a window of 2 hours and
even though
even
though the port requires, you might need an escort, you got to have your TWIC badge, you got to have 7 copies of the dock receipt or all that stuff. I'm just saying, even that is still less of a burden than
that.
And I'm just pointing it out, right? Please don't kill the messenger again. And then so the CAC says, this is really interesting. They said, this is the first time we've been made aware of a transportation situation related to vehicle release requirements. That's what I was thinking. I didn't even know. I didn't even know we needed a site entry agreement and certificate of insurance. And possibly I'm reading that wrong. I don't know. But if you want to contact American Recovery Association, go to repo.org. There's a phone number. There's an address. You can mail a letter. Dear VIP. Or whatever we said. All right. Okay, Jay. Everybody knows this is the certificate of liability. Now, I said, I just said something stupid. Everybody knows. There's somebody that doesn't know. By the way, this is the Accord format. See, Accord up in the corner? This is the format I like. There's another format Progressive puts out, which is more line item. I like the Accord format. You check the boxes, types of liability, amounts of coverage, right? Policy effective dates. And then you go to, this is the really important at the bottom. Oh, we've been listed as additionally insured. Anyways, we're going to talk more about that. This is the kind of article that you skip. Why every truck owner should read their insurance policies. Right? Oh, yeah, wait a minute, that is important. Hold on. Are my scheduled vehicles on the insurance policy the right trucks and trailers? Are my drivers properly listed? What about, all cargo insurance isn't created equal? Oh. And coverage exclusions, what's that? Right? So it is important to read this stuff. Oh, by the way, yeah, slip and fall, commercial general liability. Does everybody have that? Nope. Right? How many carriers don't carry commercial general liability insurance? It's a lot.
Most.
Is that gonna be a problem?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And it's on a per load basis. Wasn't there a broker software company that you were saying said, what did they do? They said you need to have 1 million general liability to pick up a car for us just to book a load or something? Somebody's like, yeah, what? Doing what? What are you talking about, Jay? You don't seem to have your facts straight. It's auto transport, and you can do whatever you want. I mean, you shouldn't, but you do. I shared this 2 weeks ago, and this, and and clear data. We want to talk about clear data. But before we talk about clear data, let's do this. It's time. It's the 30-minute mark. Thanks so much for jumping in and saying hello in the live chat. And, auto transport, everything is here. Looks like a lively discussion. Vincent Valentine. Cool. Thanks for, DDD. Repo lot. Ports are easier than a repo lot.
True.
I think it is true. And I know nobody wants to hear that. They don't. We don't. But it's true, and it needs to be fixed. That's why we're talking about it. All right. So, let's do this. After this, we're going to come back. We're going to be live with Renee. So stick around, because we're going to be right back.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Murphy Auto Transport Services, links in the live chat. If you are looking for a fully licensed broker that also understands dispatching, has empathy, and really wants to help you move your car or stay loaded, you want to talk to Sue, and she is murphyautotransportservices.com. Thank you so much. We're back. We're into our next segment now. We're going to bring in Renee Low. She is training and education coordinator at Harding Brooks Insurance Agency. And we're going to talk about fake certificates of insurance. Please do help me wish a very warm welcome to our featured guest today, Renee Low. Renee, can you see me and hear me okay?
I can. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Renee, how you doing?
I'm good. I hope everybody is.
Yeah, so we're glad to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
Awesome,
I love to join you guys.
Oh, it's great to have you back. Okay, so this was your idea, right? You were talking, what did you say?
You made a comment several weeks ago about fake certificates, and I said, I think I know somebody who might know a little bit about fake certificates.
All right, perfect. Okay, so that would be you. And what is a fake certificate?
So sometimes people are unscrupulous, we'll say, for various reasons. And if a certificate of insurance, if Sue requests a certificate of insurance, perhaps they don't have the insurance that Sue requires. So maybe they have a certificate from the past that they had, or if they have a certificate that they got that was somebody else's, they alter information on the certificate to make it meet the requirement. This really does happen. We have had a certificate holder on several occasions call us and say, we got this certificate of insurance that says you're the agent, but there's something about it that doesn't quite look right. And it would be because, like, we didn't issue that certificate to that person. We actually issued the certificate, but not to the insured that was listed. So people fake certificates because they don't have insurance in place typically, or they don't have the correct coverage in place.
Or, okay, so I'm thinking this through. Or they just, is it possible that sometimes they have the insurance, but they don't have, I don't know, they don't have the
insurance
listed holder, and so they just kind of mock it up, right? Get the white out. I don't know.
So it's more that their insurance has been canceled, or they don't have the correct coverage. Like maybe the cargo limit is $1 million. Maybe they only have 300,000 cargo limit, so they alter that certificate. Or maybe, like I said, they never even have insurance, so they get a certificate from a different auto hauler and put their name in place, and it shows all this beautiful coverage, and Sue says, oh, they're good to go, when they're really not.
Wow, how often is this happening?
It doesn't happen, I would say, on a regular basis, but it does happen, and it's hard to know how often it happens because we don't know when somebody forges a certificate and sends it to somebody. We just know if somebody calls us and says, hey, did you issue this certificate? It doesn't look quite right. And we're like, we don't even insure that person, so we couldn't have issued that certificate.
Okay, this is strange. Sue?
I've had it happen.
Really?
I mean, but I'll look at it and I can tell you it's funky. And I'm just like, there is something wrong with this cert. And then she's right, I'll call the company itself. Or I just say, I'm out. You're not getting this load because I can already tell something's not right. So, and it's usually like your name's crooked on the cert. It's just not lined up right. That's usually when I know something has been altered on it, which is sad, but it does happen. It really does.
And this is as working as a broker, Sue? Is that
yes.
right?
Yeah, as a broker. Yeah.
And Renee, you were going to say something. Sorry.
So she'll say there's a way to prevent getting false certificates or fake certificates. You always want the certificate to come from the agent, the insurance agent, not from the insured.
Right. You want it to come from the agent. Right. Okay. So yeah. So you want, as the certificate holder, you want the cert to come from the insurance agent or company, and not the insured.
And that's what most brokers ask from us too, as a transporter. They want it directly from them, and I'm sure it's because of that too.
And because a certificate of insurance, so we'll say, this auto hauler had a certificate issued 6 months ago, and then that certificate is only a snapshot of the coverage at the moment that certificate was issued, the date that certificate was issued. Because once that certificate is issued, an insured can call and say, I want to delete coverage, whatever. So the next day, that certificate may not even be valid anymore. So that's why it's important to get certificates updated and not just use the same one like all year, because coverage does change. And it's, like I said, it's only valid for the date it was issued.
I've heard that mentioned before, so I want to go over that again too, is that yes. So a certificate, I like the way you said that, is a snapshot of that moment of coverage. Which is why I think, so you have to update packets, certs, is it every 6 months, every 90 days? What's the standard? Which obviously is still, for the insurance company, is like, wow, that's
once.
How long?
Yeah. So insurance certs are good for a year usually. So unless it expires, you're only doing it from that point to that point on CD. You're like the W-9, we always do it the first of every year. So we update packets twice a year basically, because you have your certs and then you have your W-9 at the first.
And we recommend that if you are using somebody on a regular basis, like, in like a year contract or whatever, that you do receive an updated certificate at least twice. The beginning
Yeah.
and then the middle, just in case coverage changed.
Question in the live chat. BGA has a good question. Is it advised for a broker to be added as a cert holder? What's the benefit for the broker? Because I read somewhere that adding yourself as a cert holder will do nothing to a broker. Thoughts?
So what people get confused about sometimes with a certificate, it is not in the insurance policy. A certificate does not grant coverage. It is just that snapshot that shows the cert holder the coverage that's in place at that moment. That's why, here I'm going to kind of stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
On those site entry agreements where the repossessors are asking to be listed as additional insured, that's when additional insured have rights to the policy. A cert holder doesn't. A cert is just saying, this insured has this amount of coverage for these effective dates, but it does not extend coverage.
Okay. All right. Order in the court. So I was gonna say something. Oh, wait. Here we go. DDD. And this is what I want to say before I forget the thought. I'll come back to DDD. Is that so? We know there are. Let's say you've had a bad experience and you're worried that the packet or the cert is old because it's been a while, and you can use a third party like I can't think of the name of it. Not Safer, but there's a third party where you can check carrier. You can verify a carrier through
RMIS.
Yeah, thank you. RMIS. But that's not affordable for everybody. Am I right? Isn't there a cost barrier on the RMIS? Where let's say you're a one-man shop and you can't afford that because it's not cheap. Am I wrong?
RMIS is expensive as far as I know.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that's what I was trying to get at without, saying something that wasn't true. Okay, so if you find that a barrier to checking carriers instantly, what's an affordable way to check a carrier instantly without relying on Renee's, Sherlock Holmes investigative activities? I mean, you're able to catch these things, but how can the regular individual, verify in an affordable manner? Is there an
Small
option?
broker, you mean? Something like that?
There you go. Yeah, how can a small broker navigate this? That's what I'm thinking.
So again, it goes back to, if you receive that certificate from the agent, then the information you receive is accurate and correct.
Right. Okay, so the answer is get a certificate from the agent for every load you...
Well...
Right? Right.
If your packet is...
Or at least in 30 days, right?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how... If you got a broker that is constantly making changes or something, then you would want it, more current. But if like somebody that's... Their policy is the policy from the beginning to the end, then a couple times a year is probably okay. It's just kind of your comfort level with the person you're working with.
Perfect time. Okay, so now... and so Gary says, or go through the insurance portal, which the carrier can do. DDD saying you can check it on Safer. Can you check this on Safer? Can you?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Okay.
It'll tell you if their insurance is current or not.
Okay. All right, so Safer is an affordable way to check. It doesn't mean you have an insurance certificate.
It's free.
But you can check it.
No.
Right?
You can check. You can also check their authority, too. It tells you both.
So, all right. So, Renee, is checking on Safer enough for, say, right, because we're reading the information about the repossession agency that needs to have a certificate of insurance on hand. Is the information on Safer enough, or do they need to have that certificate of insurance on hand?
So, if you just want to verify they have insurance for liability insurance, auto liability insurance, because say if they've got DOT authority, so the minimum limit is going to be $750,000. So it would verify that. But if you're looking for, I don't know any client that verifies on, so in the repossession world, the clients are not going to verify on Safer that repossessor has auto liability insurance. The repossessor is not going to go verify on Safer that, because they're going to want to see it on a certificate, have it in their file for when the insurance company says, hey, did you do this? Because this is a requirement insurance companies are making of the repossessors, and they want to see certificates of insurance in the file when they audit them.
That's kind of where I was going, is that, yeah, so there's a requirement that's not being met. Just because you can check it on Safer, that's not meeting the insurance requirement of the agency.
Right, of the company. Right. The insurance, they insurance companies do site inspections, and this is one of the most common recommendations that they make is to have a site entry agreement and to have a certificate of insurance on file with the auto hauler or the locksmith or whoever is coming on their lot. So it's not to be mean to the auto hauler.
Right. Well, we're we're not trying to be mean. These are just facts. Yes. Just the facts. And in fact, Gary says Safer doesn't show cargo and limits. Well, I was thinking Safer's not showing all the data that I think the insurance company wants.
No, it's just showing whether they have it. Right.
And that's not, that doesn't meet the standard.
PGA is mentioning the liability is 1 million. Okay, so the law is 750, but everybody requires $1 million for, as a broker, as a transporter, to work with you. So that's what he's trying to say there.
And I think in general freight, I think general freight is 750, whereas auto is $1 million. Am I right about that as a standard?
Well, it's FMCSA says 750.
Okay, which applies to
as freight brokers. Trucking. We all want you to have $1 million. Yeah,
in automotive. Well, right. Yeah, I think this is where the numbers get a little different.
FMCSA says 750.
Yeah,
because I don't know how many times I've had to have owners call back up and get more liability because they did what the FMCSA said, which was 750.
So now PDQ, this is perfect. Thank you, PDQ, because this is the next question. What is the carrier's cost to add additional insured to their coverage for a specific load in either the broker or shipper's name? This is where it gets hairy. Yeah, it depends. Yes. Take it away.
So Progressive charges $20 up to the first 5, I believe, and then afterwards it's free. And then there's some insurance companies that do not charge anything at all. I've had some insurance companies charge $500 for each one. So it all depends on who you go with. And it's a question you need to definitely ask if you're getting into the business and you're wanting to do certs and you're wanting to change to a different insurance company or just a current insurance company. Those are the questions you need to ask. And most of people that get into this business do not even understand that.
And it is going to become more important for dispatchers like Sue to be listed as additional insured on an auto hauler's policy because of the way that the legal climate is now, because the claims are starting to go back to if an auto hauler or a trucker has an accident, his fault, okay? And it's a terrible, terrible accident. The attorneys are then going to keep going, and now they're going to the next level to see, were you diligent to make sure that you hired a competent driver that should have been driving for you. So for Sue to end up having any coverage under that auto hauler's policy, if she gets drug into a lawsuit, she would have to be listed as additional insured, because if she's not listed as additional insured and she gets drug into some lawsuit, which is that's not the most common thing right now, but it is beginning to happen. So it is, so having additional insured status on a policy is very important. So understanding the cost, as Sue said, is something a person needs to know.
Okay. Have we seen a dispatcher? This is news to me. Breaking news. Have we seen a dispatcher listed on a carrier's insurance?
Does she mean dispatcher or broker? What are we
Broker,
looking
broker.
at?
Broker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Broker,
Not
okay.
dispatcher. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but how about that? Have we, as a broker, I'm going to get this straight. As a broker, listed on the carrier's certificate of insurance as additionally insured on that load that the broker was involved in? No.
No, it very rarely happens.
Okay.
So,
There's
and
only
but
a
I'm
few
just
brokers
saying,
out there even require it. Yeah, it's coming. I see what you're saying.
I mean, because I've seen it more on just other trucking claims where those attorneys keep digging to get more.
Yeah.
Especially if, because
If
the
somebody killed
limits,
somebody or something.
limits are, if a suit, they're going over $1 million.
Where would the broker be listed on a driver's insurance policy, assuming that the load they dispatched turned into a fatal accident?
So it depends upon the insurance policies where the additional insured endorsement is and the wording in that. But there is an additional insured form, but again, it has to be part of a contract. And then, so the insured would have to say, I need the broker listed as additional insured on my policy, and the additional insured endorsement would either be issued. Some insurance companies do just a blanket additional insured form. So they don't necessarily list specific people because that is additional insured per written contract. Other additional insured forms endorsements specifically list people. Those are the ones that typically there's a charge for.
So you just made me think of something, because this just happened in the news. Okay. Did you hear the story? Rather than doing it that way, let's find it. I want you to see this, because this came up with, I talked to some auto transport business owners, OEM, dealers hauling their own cars. Let's see. I did a video on this, and I put the link in the live chat, or in the description here. GM pays dealers to pick up their own cars from the factory. Okay. Let me go back to this. I'm sorry. OEM is paying. The OEM says to the dealer, "Hey, come get your own cars. You don't need a transporter." And I'm like, "What?" Now, that's not strange. Shouldn't be strange to you, Renee, because repossession lots will transport their repoed cars to the auction.
Sometimes, yes.
Yes. And in fact, but it's strange to read this in auto transport. GM says to the dealer, come get your own cars. And it's not a couple guys. They're at they got over 25,000 cars have been moved by over 3,000 different dealers this year. This is and they're getting paid. I'm like, yeah, dude. But when I asked an auto transport business owner, wait a minute, why would this be happening? And one of the possible thoughts was, well, could also be because of the legal issues. You can actually, right? You're not hiring a third party, and anyways. This insurance issue, is this going to get more complicated or less complicated?
More complicated.
Oh, man.
Because attorneys are, so right now, attorneys spend more money on advertising, on billboards, Facebook, and on TV media than pizza companies do. So attorneys are constantly trying to draw in more clients. And more people have attorneys within 24 hours of an accident than ever before.
Put that on your birthday cake. Right, Sue? You want that on your birthday cake, Sue? Okay.
Sure.
Let's check in with the live chat. Really good stuff. I mean, this is a great topic. So does the load start to pay even more now for listing additionally insured? This question comes up. It costs to the transporter just wild the hoops we have to jump through. And wouldn't this be why the repo lot is full and it's going to keep getting fuller? It just keeps getting more complicated. And as I say this, right? We're going to do, Renee, we're going to be on a panel at Used Car Week in November, right?
Right.
In less than 2 months, we will be on stage talking about this to lenders, remarketers, dealers, auction. We're talking business professionals. Hey, Sue, remember when I said, "Dear Mr. VP" in the corner office? Yeah,
Yes.
that's who we're going to be up on stage talking in front of at Used Car Week about this issue. So what I encourage everyone to do, camera one, is if you've got... Oh, no wonder it was jumping like that. I see. Should be more of a fade. There we go. I'll change it to fade. We're going to be addressing in front of business professionals these issues. So if you've got something to add that you think is important, you can put it in the live chat or send me an email. If you really want to draw my attention to a topic, an article, a question, send me an email. autotransportintel@gmail.com. By the way, on that note, Renee, now that we know, like, you know, you've got these insurance superpowers that you have, right? You've been doing this a long time.
A long time.
A long time. And so if somebody wanted to ask you a question or contact you, can they do that?
Sure.
Oh,
You can put
awesome.
my email address in the live chat. It'd be perfect.
All right, so Renee Low, and it's Harding Brooks.
Yes. HardingBrooks.com.
All right. .com. So first I'm going to put the, because I'm typing, it's Renee, Renee.
Yes.
What's your email address?
So it's rlow@hardingbrooks.com.
Right. And that's good for the podcast listeners because they just heard rlow@hardingbrooks.com, and you can visit hardingbrooks.com. And if you got a question, email it to Renee. She's very helpful. It was her idea to come on the show today and talk about this. She has ideas. She has information. How many fake certificates of insurance would you say you've seen at this point, or just variations of fake? I mean, can you put a number?
No, you know,
No.
because,
Percentage?
again, it's hard because we don't see them all.
Right. No,
Right.
that's really interesting. We don't see them all. Exactly.
I mean, we only
Until
see them
somebody
if
catches
somebody thinks there's a problem.
Let's say money is not an issue. What should everybody be doing for the CYA? Like, would you get signed up with a third party? Do you, on your dispatch sheet, just always get a certificate of insurance? I mean, you know, what would an insurance company like to see happen on every load? If you can answer that. Regarding certificates of insurance, additionally insured. Should
So-
everybody have additional insurance and certificates of insurance?
So
And, you know what I
if
mean?
you're asking for a certificate of insurance, you probably, in most cases, want to be listed as an additional insured.
There it is. Right. Ideally, that's full protection.
Right.
To be listed as additionally insured.
Because the certificate, again, is just showing you the coverage they have in place, but
it
it's
doesn't
not.
connect you to the insurance.
No.
Interesting. That's
It's just
what
a piece of
additionally,
paper.
and that's what additionally insured does. Is it connects you to the insurance?
Right. Right.
Are the VINs of the vehicles being hauled needed to be on that certificate?
So the VINs of the vehicles being hauled, it would depend. I mean, if you're looking for, and you can't be listed as a certificate of insurance, as an additional insured on the cargo, because
Right.
you can't, that's not going to happen. Because
Okay.
so that
Okay.
would depend upon the cert holder if they wanted to see those VINs listed. Now, as a cert holder additional insured, I would want the vehicle that was hauling the cargo to be listed. I would want the name of the driver who's hauling that equipment to be listed, because some policies are driver specific, not all policies, but some are. So if that driver is not specifically listed, there may not be coverage.
Right.
Ah,
Okay. So what
right.
happens when a company sees a certificate of insurance for an auto hauling business that has 5 trucks, 5 drivers? All 5 trucks are listed. All 5 drivers are listed. Are we good?
Yeah, I mean, because if you've got 5 drivers, 5 trucks. I mean, it doesn't matter which truck they're driving, just that those drivers are listed, those trucks are covered.
Problem is, drivers change this and that. My brother's not available. Got my, I don't know what. So, company has 5 trucks, 5 trailers, 5 drivers, but only 1 truck, 1 trailer, 1 driver is listed. Here's your cert. It's up to date. Are we good?
You know, that's your comfort level. I wouldn't be comfortable with that if I was accepting that as a cert holder.
See, and I think that isn't that more common, Sue? That because you know,
Yeah.
maybe the driver last week left, and we're 3 drivers down from where we were last week, and he's not on the certificate of insurance. I don't even know his name. I can't even spell it. Right? He won't turn his GPS
there's
on.
a few brokers that
Right?
require all of that, and they even ask for the IDs for whoever's on the policy even.
Oh, so you need a copy of the ID and all that.
Yeah, you have to send in your declarations page with everything listed, drivers, equipment, and then the ID so they can go against it and make sure you're really on the policy. Anu is one of those companies. That's a requirement to even haul for them.
Well, and then okay, so wait a minute. And if they're a CDL holder, do we have to go into their clearinghouse and their background and all that stuff too?
No, I have not had that happen.
Okay.
No.
Wow, this is pretty comprehensive. Have we missed anything here, Renee?
I think we've covered a lot. Probably got
covered a
everybody
lot.
like, oh no.
Well, and actually that
Doom and gloom.
but that's one of the purposes is to once again shed light on an important issue that unfortunately becomes important, you know, at the time of the accident. But I mean, listen, it's the same thing as kind of setting appointments with repo lots. When you're booking the load, there's a million things going on. You're like, yeah. Right? Everybody's like, yeah. We got it. And then there's a problem. DDD says VINs of the vehicle on the policy need to be listed. VINs. See, I thought the vehicle's being hauled.
They are, as far as I know.
The vehicle's being
No,
hauled.
I think they're talking about the VINs of.
The
I'm
truck
hoping
and trailer
the VINs
of the
your
equipment.
personal- Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're supposed to be.
I swear I've had somebody say we need the VIN of the vehicle being hauled on the, but I don't know.
I don't know how you could do that. Yeah.
Right, I think that's what I said. We don't even have the dispatch yet. I'm not sure. Renee may have already covered this, but I may have missed it. What's the difference between additional insured and cert holder? One more time. This is good.
Okay,
This is
so-
good. Thank you.
A certificate holder is only giving you just have a copy of a piece of paper verifying the coverage. You have no coverage extended to you. When you're listed as an additional insured on the policy, then you have certain rights of an insured on the policy. A certificate of insurance is just a piece of paper, nothing more.
Fantastic. Here's a good follow-up, BGA. Thank you. Can a broker file a claim on cargo policy, or does it have to be the shipper?
So on an insurance policy, anybody can file a claim.
Yeah.
Now, normally when somebody files, like not the insured files a claim if I'm taking claims that day, you know, I get a hold of my insured and say, okay, tell me what happened, blah, 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 you know, but anybody can file the claim.
As a follow-up to the prior, and thank you for that. So DDD says we are listing the autos on the policy. That's what DDD says. I wonder what kind of, that might be a specialty carrier. It's hard to say. Certificates of insurance, additionally insured, commercial liability, cargo policy. Are there any? Oh, here's what I wanted to do before I let you go. I'm just going to bring up let's take a look at the Accord form just one more time. Sorry, okay, there we go. The producer is the insurance agency. Contact info of the insurance agency. The insured is the carrier.
Okay, go all the way
Yeah.
back to the top to the date. That's the most important place you want
Oh,
to start.
yeah.
Start is at the date.
Thank you.
Because,
The
you know,
dates.
if you gave you this certificate, I mean, this is not a good certificate. You would just need to tell them sorry, because you don't want you want a certificate with the date, the current date, not an old dated certificate.
Okay, so flag number 1, the date. What's the date of the certificate? It should be today. Is that
Should
right?
be right. That's the date that certificate was issued.
Okay.
So
good
with,
one.
24 hours, 36 hours,
Right.
something like that. But
It's fine. Yeah, as long as it's during the period of the transportation kind of thing.
now, and it's important to see where insurer A, insurer B. You want to be sure that, to look at the names of those insurance companies. They may not mean anything, but you still should look to see the names, because those names are going to correlate with the coverages listed below.
Okay. All right. So with the insurance coverage, the insured. All right. Now we go into coverages. We
So
start with general liability.
Now, and again, many auto haulers are not going to have general liability.
Right.
Some people they work for may require it, but that is not a common thing. But I wanted just to show you an example of with general liability being listed on the policy, and you'll see insured letter A. That means the insurance company A is writing the general liability, and if you kind of go over to the right, there's additional insured. That means that this certificate holder is an additional insured for the general liability coverage on the policy. And then you've got your expiration dates. You want to make sure, if you go to the right, the expiration dates, you want to be sure your effective dates are within the time period. And then if you keep going, you see your limits. You want to verify that you have the accurate limits.
Right. And that's what I like about this form. It's very easy to read. It's very...
Been around a long, long time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And just one note, if you're listed as like an additional insured on the general liability, that does not guarantee you're listed as additional insured on the general liability, not on the auto liability. You have to specifically request that you want to be listed as an additional insured on the auto liability. And if they have general liability, the general liability. But you have to specifically request the line of coverage.
And this gets into, to be additionally insured, there will be a request and a conversation. Otherwise, you're not additionally insured. Like, for anybody that thinks that this is somehow automatic, it's not.
It has to be in a contract. Most
Right.
insurance companies require it to be for you to be listed as additional insured. It must be in a contract requirement.
And it may incur an additional cost each time, depending on your insurance company.
Yes.
And your insurance company can answer that question for you. Some say you get 5 a year and then it costs extra. Some say it's always extra. Sometimes it's $40 each time you list, right?
Right. And sometimes it's free, and it just kind of depends upon the form that policy is using for additional insured.
And what's the period of time? What's the term of that additionally insured?
A year.
A year.
But, well, it's a policy term. So,
Policy term.
So like if you add
Whenever
somebody's
it expires.
additional insured midterm, it's going to be the same in most cases as if you did at the beginning of the year.
I'm going to go to this is at the bottom. I isolated this because this is very important, right? As
Right.
the certificate holder, you're the one receiving a copy of this document. You want to be here.
Right.
Which I think our beginning of our introduction to this information is, if you sign up with Central Dispatch wants to be the certificate holder. Am I right about that?
Right.
Right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's where you begin this process of education. This is like, I didn't know what a certificate of insurance was until filling out my first Central Dispatch packet. And then I learned what a certificate of insurance was.
And you want to be sure under authorized representative that it is signed, if it's electronic signature in most all cases, but you do want it to be signed by the agent.
So, you mean have a physical signature copy, or?
So that should, under authorized representative, if you got a certificate from us, there should be an electronic signature that says Michael Poplinski.
Right, rather than agent signature.
Right.
Right, I gotcha. Yeah, some kind of legal acknowledgement. It's amazing. I mean, we're it's like we're doing a webinar right now, without even trying.
Isn't that good? Because ATI is all about education.
Oh my God, I mean, it's so awesome.
That's true.
Like, because I've watched webinars where I'm like, man, I mean, wow, we're just trudging through, like, really dry. I mean, I can barely hang on. But we just did 4 over, right? That's the problem with a lot of webinars. I mean, it's really hard to get through them. But I don't know if the webinar holders know that. But I think the audience is like dying, right? They're like, man, I'm dying out here. And so we just did a faux webinar that might have been more effective than non-faux webinars, and it's a wonderful thing. I mean, I hope that some people got some information, and this can be shared. And thank you, Gary. Thank you so much for making martinis in the super chat. Do I have that here? Yeah, here we go. Yeah. It's awesome. And let's just read this. Meaning car hauling. Also have to make sure. Okay, autos are on the policy. Yeah, meaning car hauling. Also need to have the autos checked. And then DDD brings up MCS 150. Oh my goodness, opening another can.
Oh God, yeah.
Right. What's it? Here, let's do it. We just said it. What is an MCS 150?
What's the technical? I mean, I just know we have to do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Renee. You know what it is.
Yeah. What's an MCS 150?
So
not your UCR, I thought, but
it's an endorsement that's where it requires the minimum 750,000 limit. But I mean, it's just, I don't know that I've ever really figured out the purpose.
I thought it was for.
But I think
I
it's
thought
to
it was
protect,
to keep track of where they're really at.
in case you get served with either an insurance claim or a legal filing, right?
Right.
I think in MCS 150, because this is Curveball Live, but we do this. And why in the world I know what an MCS 150, and it's nuts, actually, because we were talking with, was it Pacific Financial Insurance years ago? Oh, and then, you know who talks about this stuff is, oh gosh, what's her name? Evil Sizer. Penny.
Oh yeah, because it's your UCR registration.
Yeah. Okay. Penny talks about this from Evil Sizer, and that is that an MCS 150, I believe, is a form that you're required as a carrier, as a CMV, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm. Keep updated.
Okay, you have to keep it updated where your place of business is in case there's something.
An audit.
Yep. That
you
needs
have to have
be brought
it
to
if
your
the
attention.
DOT comes to your site to audit it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Now
I think
BJ
there's
brings
a biennial, right?
BJ brings up BOC3. Is that what That's why you have to be a lawyer in your truck
to understand all this stuff.
It's crazy. Crazy. Okay. So I guess let's see. Brokers really need contingency coverage. Does Renee offer contingency policies for brokers?
Renee would have to check with John and Mike to see about that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. So feel free to contact Renee. I'm going to share it again. rlow@hardingbrooks.com. And she's at work right now. I mean, look at all this time we've taken. People are like, get back to work. They're always saying that to me. So Renee, thank you so much for your time and information. It was awesome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you,
really
everyone.
Good stuff. All right.
Thanks,
Take care,
Renee.
Renee. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, see ya. And we'll put her back in the waiting room. That was awesome stuff. I mean, it's really this is why Brian and I started doing live carrier advice, which was previously DOT compliance, and that is that. I mean, it's I got here. You want to see it? I got a copy right here. Here. This is nuts, right? This is This is just one book
Yeah.
that you could have. DOT Enforcement Essentials
Yes.
Manual. I mean, and it's like, okay. I mean, this would hurt if you threw this at somebody. I mean, you'd.
Yeah.
This is a huge, and this is just one of many books that you could have. And it's nuts. What you've got to understand, learn, know, and I suppose what you could be questioned on. Oh, let's see here. Let's finish out. What I did want to say is that we're gonna bring Ryan on. I was gonna try to bring in Ryan today, but he got really busy. I want to learn more about clear data. What's clear data? So in this world of certificates of insurance and all this paperwork and all this coverage and CYA, there is clear data is a repossession agency software that I think more auto transport software should connect to, so that because here it is. Let's go to camera one. You're the carrier. Okay, you got your dispatcher and you're talking to. Okay, yeah, we'll take the. Can we do the 2 o'clock on Thursday? Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, 30-minute window. Love it. Okay, so we'll see you Thursday at 2. Okay, great. Okay. Oh, we need to go online and fill out okay, so we need to go online and fill out the gotcha. Yeah, no, we'll do that. We'll book it online, put in the information, right? Sue, do you do this, right? You got to go online and put in. Okay. So you're going online and you're doing this stuff, and now they want to do a site entry agreement, they want a certificate of insurance. What is that like for you as a dispatcher to try to Is that easy or hard? Yeah.
No, it is easy. It's just a matter of time, and you just don't have a lot of time sometimes when you're trying to do this stuff. I mean, and okay, so then on top of that, I think you have to wait for an email back on this and stuff like that. Like, I think we were talking about it a couple weeks ago. I did this. They finally answered me at the end of the day. And so I had to wait all day to see if it had keys, if it ran and drove. And by that time, I'm like, moving on. I need a different load. I don't have time to wait all day, because what if I had found at the end of the day then that it didn't have keys and it didn't run and drive and I'd held that spot all day long? That's just ridiculous. Time is money.
Well, that's it. That's it. And you can share your screen when you're ready. We'll look at a couple loads. But I mean, that is it. Is that my point of going through the whole phone thing? There is that it still takes time, and if the repo lot is full, certificate requirements are going to go up, then the software needs to connect, I don't know, faster and better in that, right? Because, I mean, how many guys don't even have a dispatcher in the office or don't believe in it or whatever?
Right,
I mean,
and they've got to do it, right?
Yeah,
they've got to do it right there on the fly.
There you go. How are you a transporter bumping down the road, managing the software requirement of the repo agency just to pick up one car?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Actually.
I don't think they would do it unless they were already set up and that's what they did.
No
you know
clue how you would do that. And it's not like you can say, let me do that when I pull over from my break in 5 hours.
Right.
No, I don't think so. Right?
No, they don't care. Yeah. You might as well just skip it, move on. That's how I feel about it.
Oh man. Well, that's why I'm talking. That's why I spend so much time. I'm really trying to help. I'm trying to help build the bridge to repossession. I don't know why. No idea. I guess I don't know. What are we looking at now? What is this?
Oh, I just have up a page. This is Dallas. I've got a driver coming out of Dallas later.
Yeah?
Tomorrow, actually. Danny, actually.
How many vehicles do you need? What are you looking for?
Well, I did a minimum. I always do start out with a minimum of 2 units.
Right.
Just because he likes to do
clusters.
packs.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can find it. Sometimes you can't. Like this. Let's look at this. See, there's no way I could fit. See, so Danny can take, he's 56 with flip outs on either end. So he can always take 4 as long as I have the right size. And, I've done the formula for everybody before too. And just looking to see what might pop up here. Obviously that's not going to fit. And who wants to go to El Paso for 54 cents a mile? Because you're never getting out of there. There's really not a lot on here right now. So then what I do is I go into just Dallas to certain areas and a certain amount of money next to find what you want. See, I had actually called Anu about these. Look at this is a kick load here. So it's 3,500. It's just going 77 miles. I was going to take that and they're gone, but they've never removed them off the central. Don't know why. I was also going to take. They had another 2-pack on here that wasn't going anywhere very far too, like 20 miles, and it was $500. I was going to do them all in one day, just up in Dallas, and it would have been $1,100. But they're gone, and like I said, they're still on here, and I have no idea why. So
and how did you find out they were gone? Phone call?
And I called. Yeah,
Call.
As everybody knows, to get a load from Anu, you got to call like 15 times to finally get through, and an hour wait.
No.
They finally do, and then you find out that they're gone. Yeah, oh God, every day.
Really?
I don't know if they. I mean, we've talked about this before, and they've always told us that they have a lack of employees. But we've even emailed before too, when we've called and called and called and called, and eventually they might call you 2 or 3 hours later. And then there's some loads they have that have a text number on there, but it's not for all loads. So I'm not really sure what the dealio is on that one either. So.
Oh man, brokers like
Talk about the
restaurants, right?
Yes, I do.
It's
Yes.
so funny. Oh my God.
Ask me if anybody is.
Oh,
I'll tell
brother.
you what their deal is.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, yeah, well, so BGA says, yeah, they are super busy, so maybe they're just super busy. Life is good.
Maybe. I don't know. How hard is it? Everybody complain about how hard it is to get a load from them when you have to call 15, 20 times over and over again because then they hang up on you. It's a real pain. So,
Oh man. Well, now could they use maybe is there a software maybe that would help them move faster?
Well, they do use, let's see. I'll go to it here. Just find it here.
I mean, right? Maybe they're like the repo lot. They're just stuffed up. They're so busy.
You can use Truckify if you have a Truckify account, but we do not have Truckify accounts. So,
what would the Truckify link do for you?
Well, you have to have an account. It takes you to it. You can sign up to get it. But, when we did have Truckify accounts,
yeah,
they never answered whether we could have the load. So I'm like, are you guys even paying attention to this? What's the point, right? So.
Oh, Truckify link takes you to dispatch center. Okay. Now, so you're a dispatch center, and you are.
See, I don't have an account. So that's why everybody calls. And I'm pretty sure most people call or try to call and call and call.
Okay. It's good feedback.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
I have
Auto
emails
transfer
for
everything
like
says
5 different people at Anu, but nobody ever answers me there either. So
interesting. Yeah. Are there other links? I thought I've seen other click here for linkage stuff.
Not for Anu. That's the only one.
Yeah, but aren't there other companies with other softwares when you click on the link?
Well, yeah, like you've got some that have Super Dispatch that you can click on to go to.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, who else? Freedom has their own.
Oh, Freedom,
Roadrunner has its own.
Roadrunner, okay. What happens when you click on those links? It takes you to the load board and you can book it?
Well, it takes you to their load board, and then you go in and request the load. And if it's Freedom or Roadrunner, good luck.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because usually their loads aren't any good. Mostly Freedom's loads are.
So are they already gone or what?
Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're even legit.
Uh-oh.
It's always, we're going to update you and give you this load, and next minute, the
we got to call the customer?
Call the customer. Yeah, that kind of crap, yeah.
We got to call the customer because
keep
we
in mind,
have
there's
never
2 different
talked
Freedoms.
to them.
So,
is that what it is, right?
I'm not talking about both Freedoms, yeah, so.
Speculation live, I could be talking about anything. Okay.
Yeah. And then Roadrunner is the same. You can do that. I prefer to call them because most of their stuff is, sometimes good, sometimes bad.
I think
it's usually I'm going to call the customer, and if the customer says it's okay, you'll see it come through Central. So I'm not holding my breath, unless I would die.
I think
if I was waiting for that to come through.
I think I've said this before. It's the end of the show pile on. Okay.
Yes.
So at the end of the show pile on, you can say whatever you want in the live chat. So please do. I mean, well, it's already happening. So please continue to do the dispatching live end of show pile on. Say whatever you want, because this is auto transport. I mean, come on. Can you or can you not do whatever you want?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
See, I didn't say you could, right? I didn't say you could. I asked if you could.
Yes, you can.
And just, I mean, this is actually why I started the show. Just looking at random loads on random searches begins a whole conversation. And there's so much. These lists of loads provide so much interesting information. I know we're trying to book loads, but I mean, you had an idea, right? You were gonna make $1,100 around Dallas, like you saw it, right? And this is where, as we know as dispatchers, somebody's in their truck, like, why didn't you book it? And the answer is, well, I tried.
Yeah.
Are they both gone?
I mean, if a driver was sitting there, they're driving, they don't have time to call like that over and over and over again.
Oh, no, they don't. I mean? No. They're busy trying to schedule an appointment and request a certificate of insurance. This is literally why I always go back to, I do not understand people that have a beef with dispatchers. It's bananas. It would be like, well, we don't allow cashiers. You can't have cashiers are illegal. All right, well, who's going to take the order? Well, not the cashier. That's illegal. Okay, so the guy, I don't know, the dishwasher, the cook, the owner, anybody but the cashier. We don't do cashiers. Like, I don't get it. I can't process that information. And by the way, go ahead and check out of, let me know, go ahead and check out of the drugstore. Next time you're trying to check out of the drugstore and you can't get a human being, the robot tells you need customer service assistance. Perfect time to think about why you hate dispatchers. Because you see this happening. You go into stores, you try to buy something from the robot, and it says, assistance needed. Assistance required. And they need a person to come by and hit a button, and there's no people in the store. Have you seen this? I want to thank everybody so much for jumping in the live chat. Thank you so much. Sue's busy, really. She's got a lot to do. No, I know you're busy. Renee is busy. Sue is busy. And as I said on Tuesday night, Kevin Parada is busy. We have got a great show lined up for Tuesday night. We're going to do, I want to say it's carrier tech transparency. And we're going to talk about mobile apps and technology. I think the crux of the main crux. Crux is a word, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. The main crux is Skip Kavanaugh put up a LinkedIn article about GPS, and that everybody requires it. The shippers, the auctions, the dealers, everybody except the carrier is like, yeah, I want to know where the car is. But many carriers do not want GPS turned on. And the thing is, I'm going to say, it doesn't matter what somebody wants. It's going to happen. If you're a non-GPS carrier, I think your business is going to suffer in the future. You're not on that show, Sue, but would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I don't want it. I have no dog in this fight, but I do believe that's true. It's just going to be and even, it's interesting, I'll bet you there's going to come a time where the insurance company is going to want to know where the carrier is, and that's going to be part of the insurance requirement. I don't know. Speculation live. But GPS, but I do agree with non-invasive GPS is also a good idea. I still believe in civil liberties and personal privacy and all that stuff. So maybe business GPS, right? Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Not when I'm in the bathroom.
Well, and I was just going to say, but here's the thing is, too, I don't want I don't know if we need a camera of your like square footage. Just would within 5 miles during Monday through Friday 8 to 5 within 5 miles of your actual location, is that reasonable? Within 10 miles?
Yeah, I think
I mean,
5-10 miles. Yeah,
I don't need within
so that way we don't know you're wherever.
a millimeter. Yeah, it's not about that. I don't know. Again, I don't have a dog in this fight. That's what we're going to talk about Tuesday night. So, thanks for tuning in, chiming in. We're going to let you go. We got to get this show on the road. So, Sue, thank you so much for everything you do. Thanks for everybody in the live chat. Really do appreciate you. All right, what do we on? What do we say, office?
But everybody, goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Sue. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Take
Okay.
care, and
See you guys.
I'll get that graphic fixed. I promise. All right.
All right.
All right. Take care. See you. Bye.